SportsFeva time, and Pete, as we said before, we played those few songs there. It's your favourite time of the year, mate, as a golf fan. US Masters, and time for your detailed preview, and all the listeners around the region looking for a good tip from you.
Now, I do believe I'm entitled to a cut if I pick one here, don't I? That's how this works.
Yeah, everyone's got to send in a sling if they have a few bucks on your winner. But everyone, if you are having a bet, do bet responsibly.
Absolutely, yeah, Matty. It's just a fantastic time of the year. This is the real meaty start of the season for golf fans, and it doesn't start any better than the Augusta National. There's something magical about the place. It is on my bucket list to get over there and tick it off. The course is always in immaculate condition. There is not a blade of grass or a leaf on a tree that is out of place at the course, and it always delivers something unexpected. We were talking off air about last year. I know you and I weren't the only ones that hung in there on every shot as Jason Day and Adam Scott chased down Charles Schwartzel, the South African, and just fell short at the end. I remember watching Adam Scott tee off on the 18th, and he had to birdie to force it to a playoff. Beautiful drive, solid shot coming in, but just didn't make that putt. And of course Schwartzel walked away with the Masters. And of course we can't forget last year there was that massive charge from Tiger that faded on about the 15th hole when he missed an eagle putt that he probably should have made. But still, there's always something that happens at the Masters. It's just a fantastic time of year, and I don't think this year will be any different. My tips coming up for this year's Masters: to win it, I like the young Northern Irishman Rory McIlroy. He went awfully close last year. It was a final round fade out, which tends to happen. He led the whole way through. He was dominant. He was killing it. And as tends to happen, things happen on Sunday at the Masters. And Rory faded. I believe he hurt his wrist on one shot. And just was in all sorts of trouble and faded from the field. But of course, he bounced back to take out the US Open, which is of course the next big major, only a couple of weeks later. So he's claimed that number one ranking in the lead up. He's lost it to Luke Donald, the Englishman. Look for a big one from Rory. I like his chances. You've got to do something different at the Masters. You've got to be inventive. You can't just go out there and lay up and make your pars. There's got to be an X factor about how you go about your business. So Rory is my tip to take out the title this year.
Rory, and what about the best Aussie?
The best Aussie will be Adam Scott this year. I'm more than confident of that. John Senden, of course, the Brisbane boy, has been in fantastic form, but the kind of golfer that John Senden is, he's someone that goes out there and you don't notice him until all of a sudden he's popping up there in fourth or fifth. He's not an electric style of golfer, but there's nothing wrong with that. But I just don't think he's got the right tools in the bag to win the Masters this year. Scotty, of course, has Tiger Woods' former caddy on the bag. He's been in really good touch leading up. The long putter will be the key. I've got no doubts in his ability to hit off the tee or his irons. But if he can turn that long putter on and really get it working, he will be the best. Jason Day would have been right up there with Scott had he not injured his foot in the last couple of days. There's real questions over whether he'll even start. He didn't take to the course this morning, so some questions over Jason Day, which is disappointing because he's been in really good form as well. But Adam Scott will be the best placed Aussie.
Okay, well, I'm going with Sendo, best placed Aussie.
Yep.
John Senden, and our colleague Andre Grimaud, he's gone with Sendo as well.
Yep. Yes.
So we're all on the Sendo train, so it'll be interesting to go. Now, Andre's gone the fairly vanilla tip, Tiger Woods, just, and you've gone Rory. Where's something for the punters?
It's a vanilla tip in Tiger Woods, but I tell you what, I still don't feel 100% confident with how he's playing with him in the field. You can't. He's one of the greatest to ever play the game, and if he gets a sniff come Sunday, look out.
You two have tipped first and second in the market. Where's something for the loyal punters to earn a buck or two? Now, I'm going to throw one out. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
KJ Choi.
Oh, hey, KJ's in a really good touch. He could be the first. There's never been an Asian player to win the Masters, and he could be the first. For his the stocky little size, he hits a very good golf ball. So I like it. I like it.
There you go. I think some places are offering around 80 to 1. So
and I tell you, if you are looking for a smoky, I like the big hitting American Bubba Watson. You won't miss him for the bright pink shaft in his driver. He just provides that X factor that you need to win at Augusta. He's got something extra in the bag, and that big hitting, he's flashy, he's extravagant, and if it all comes together for 4 days, he could be in there. I think he's about 15, 16 to 1 to win. So there's my Smoky.
There we go. Well, we're looking forward to it, Swamp. And this week, this time next week, we'll either be Scotting or we probably just won't even talk about the Masters. No, we'll no doubt wrap it up. It'll be a magical tournament. No matter what happens, no matter who wins, there'll always, like you said, there's a twist or turn and a real romance to the tournament. Can't wait to watch that one. And you know, you're a Mad Golf fan. I'd consider myself only a part-time, probably majors fan, but it's a great tournament for anyone that's got any interest in golf at all.
It's a great contest for anyone that's got interest in sport. It's right up there with the greatest sporting contests we have, you know, with stuff like the Melbourne Cup, the State of Origin. I'm talking two Australian contests there, but it's just, if you're a golf fan or not, there's something about the Masters, and it's one of the best sporting contests going around.
Yep, can't wait. And like we said, we'll wrap up all the Masters action next Thursday on SportsFeva. It's 18 minutes past 8 here on SportsFeva with Matthew and Swampy Marsh. And Swamp, got a couple of guests in the studio. We're a bit crowded in our little studio here at the moment.
I'd say, well, with the size of the athletes we've got in here, it's especially crowded as well, Matty. We've got GWE superstar Steve Moore has joined us in the studio. Thanks so much for coming in, Steve. And, of course, Steve is going to be part of a massive night at Burpengary on April 14th.
That's right.
To bring us in, Steve, tell us all about the night and what's going on.
Well, first of all, my name is Steve Moore, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for having me, as I'm sure it's a huge honour that I'm on your show. But yes, April 14th, we've got GWE, Global Wrestling Entertainment's debut show. It's called Triumph, and it's going to be an action-packed, awesome night. It's going to be fantastic.
Now, I understand you're not the only one fighting on the night, Steve. Tell us who else is going out there and some of the varieties of the wrestling that we can see.
Well, yes, in my opinion, I'm the only one that matters that's going out there to wrestle. But yes, we've got an action-packed night full of all different superstars, all different unique, different characters, everything. We've got women, we've got little guys doing flips around everywhere, huge guys that throw people, slamming them right down the middle. But yeah, there's going to be guys going out having some really fast-paced matches. There's some really big guys and going just straight at it, brawl for brawl.
I'll tell you what, Matty, Steve makes me feel a little bit ashamed of the old body here. He cuts a very fine figure standing in the studio. How have you been in the lead-up training, mate? Are you feeling pretty good and prepared?
Well, look, professional wrestling requires lots of training and 7-day-a-week thing, whether that's in the ring, in the gym, eating well. It's very important, and very important people are looking good and very conditioned, because when you hop in that ring, everybody is just going full force, and it's really important that you're ready.
Now, of course, we always like to cheer a local here, and we'll definitely be cheering you come April 14, but tell us about your opponent in the ring, Chase.
Well, look, I'm versing this new up-and-coming kid. His name's Chase Johnson. You know, I haven't heard too much about him. There's a bit of hype around the guy, but I'm going to go out on the record right now and say that I feel I'm going to beat him. I'm going to topple him. I'm ready. I'm a lot more experienced than the guy. This guy thinks he's going to come in here and make a name for himself using me as a stepping stone. Quite frankly, I'm just really upset about that, and I feel that Chase Johnson is not going to be able to take me on. I think it's going to be an absolute embarrassment. I feel that Steve Moore is going to come out on top once again.
Now, it's wrestling's not a sport we get to see in the Moreton Bay region too much, unfortunately, but we're massive sporting fans across the region here. Tell us what sports fans can expect when they come on down. Is it going to be a fantastic night of sporting contests and entertainment?
Yes, that's right. First and foremost, lots and lots of entertainment, but these guys, including myself, you'll see some extreme athleticism, some amazing moves, and all sports fans alike, any sport you're into, you will just come and have a great night here at Burpengary Hall, April 14th, Triumph.
Boys, it's been fantastic to have you in the studio here this morning, Steve. Good luck on the night. Not that I'm sure that you need it, Matty. He's looking very pumped up here, but good luck. And we'll run through those dates again, April 14. And just give us the venue again, guys.
April 14th, Burpengary Hall, Community Hall. It's going to be a great night. I'd love if everyone came to check it out. Check us out on Facebook as well, Global Wrestling Entertainment.
And for anyone that wants to buy tickets, what's the best way to go about it?
Best way is you can either get some on the door, you can pre-book by hopping on our Facebook page. You can buy through the Facebook page, or there will be a contact number where you can sort out some tickets through that.
No, looking forward to it. I'm going to get down there for sure, Swamp. I'm a bit nervous. I'm sitting here in the corner, so I'm a bit intimidated here in the studio. So,
as you should be, as you should be.
Okay, well, you can finish up the interview there.
It's never a good place to be in the corner in a wrestling sense, is it?
I'm like right under the table there, mate, out through under the rope.
Most of my opponents feel that way as well, don't you worry.
I'm sure they do. I'm not doubting you for a minute, sir.
Guys, it's been fantastic. Thanks for coming in, and good luck on April 14. We'll definitely be there to cheer you along.
Thanks very much for having us, guys, and I don't need luck, but thanks anyway.
26 minutes past 8. You're listening to Sports Fever with Matthew and Swampy. Time now for my favourite part of the show, time to talk some Queensland Cup and some Redcliffe Dolphins. And joining us on the line is the number one ticket holder of the Redcliffe Dolphins, Rupert McCall. Good morning to you.
Happy Easter, boys. Big weekend coming up.
It's a huge weekend, Rupert. Of course, a big Sunday planned at Dolphin Oval. 3 big grades of a rugby league, and I guess the Dolphins are on the bounce back after a disappointing weekend. We all tracked up the Bruce Highway to Sunny Coast, but come back with our fin between our legs.
No, we didn't get the chocolates last Sunday, boys, but hopefully we'll get them this Sunday on Easter Sunday. Listen, it's probably our first real chapter of adversity in season 2012. And, the second half was pretty diabolical. We went to sleep. We were leading at half time. We come out and we probably just maybe took a little bit for granted, had the wind in our face. Playing aside, obviously you're going to be fired up with Adam Mogg coaching the Seagulls last year and now with the Dolphins, where he should be, by the way, Adam Mogg. Like the referee probably got in on the act as well, all in that horrible sort of period of about 20-25 minutes. We got beaten fair and square by a side that was desperate to win, that being the Sunshine Coast. So what do we learn from that? Well, we can't have those lapses in the future. And we're playing a side this Sunday, Souths, the South Logan Magpies, who went up to Cairns last week and beat the Northern Pride. So it is on for young and old this Sunday, and the Redcliffe Dolphins will have to play well to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think, Sunshine Coast certainly are surprising a few people, and South Logan are another team without that real NRL affiliation that have surprised a few teams in the last couple of weeks. And as we know, as Dolphins fans, we've never forgiven the Magpies for that grand final in 81. We never like to lose to the Black and Whites.
Oh, I just got a little bit of that sick feeling back in my stomach, Matty. Oh, you have to mention it, mate. 1981, Mick Reardon, buddy. Oh, I can't say it on air, but I was a kid. I was at Lang Park. I was in the stand. You could almost hear the sound of corks popping off the champagne bottles for the Dolphins, and the pass from Meninga to Reardon, later Toy had gone back under the post to cover for the bomb, I think on Artie's instructions, and there it was, the try in the corner. Mal Meninga sealed the ugly deal with the sideline conversion, and I was one shattered 10-year-old. I promise you, I've never ever forgotten it. And it's part of my psyche that whenever we play the Magpies, just look out for that flying winger at the end in the corner.
That's it. It's never over until it's over. The good news is, I think our good friend John Sloan has destroyed any history of those videos floating around of that grand final.
Oh, good on you, Slaney. I hope you have, mate, because I never want to see it again. And, one night at Dolphin Oval, we were celebrating a grand final win, I think, and who turned up, I think he was on his way through with a few friends, was Mick Reardon. And, I thought, oh, no, here he is, the man that thwarted all my dreams as a kid. And he was actually a pretty nice bloke, Mick Reardon. But anyway, we don't want to go through that experience in a grand final ever again.
Rupert, probably some better memories for Dolphins fans would be, or those were short memories at least, the preliminary final last year where the Dolphins got over the Magpies to get through on the back of some absolutely outstanding kicking from Liam Georgetown in just atrocious conditions. Liam's in a little bit of doubt, we've heard this morning, but hopefully he'll be right for the weekend. One thing that's really caught me about this Dolphins side is that there's a lot of young players that are hiding in those ranks that are getting just nudged out by some Broncos players, and one that we saw come back last week was Big Dave Harler. It was a bit quiet, but tell us that he's going to have a big one this weekend for sure.
Swampy, I've got no doubt. I saw Dave Harler run out on Sunday, and then I saw him training with the Broncos on Monday, I think it was. So, Anthony Griffin's, he's got tabs on David. He's probably got a little bit to learn at that level in NRL, but just watch him put everything out there for Redcliffe this Sunday. He can be a wrecking ball, a human wrecking ball, and when he sort of starts to hit his stride, and he's a Redcliffe junior as well. He'll be benefiting from having Petro Sivanasiva around at Fulcher Road there. 2012, once he gets into his season, it could be something, absolutely epic for the young kid, and I hope it is.
Yeah, he's an absolute wrecking ball. Now, the Queensland Cup side, of course, coming off a loss, but there's two other grades at Dolphin Oval on Sunday, and both teams are in pretty good form. Troy Lindsay's Colts and Mark Shipway's A-grade side travelling okay this season.
Absolutely, and what great coaches, or at least the people that they are, the players that they were, Mark Shipway and Troy Lindsay, and they've got the absolute respect of all of the boys who pull on a red and white jersey and run out for them in Colts or the Fogs. It's just it's great that Redcliffe are regenerating the players that played so well for them through the coaching ranks. And sure, I guess the boys have got high aspirations and they're looking every single week. But whenever I sort of go down to the club and I'm talking to Cowboy or Shippy, guys who tasted grand final success for Redcliffe, they're so hungry, they're so keen to do well, and I think it's a wonderful atmosphere, for especially the Colts to be learning in, and for Fogs to be thriving to play the top grade in. I mean, it's there's other guys around there as well. Andrew Wynyard, who's assistant coach at John Dixon in first grade or in Premier grade. Peter Robinson, Robbo, always around. It's just great to have that, the Redcliffe fold of ex-players, doing great things in the coaching ranks.
And Big Adam Starr running the water for that Colts team as well, and actually got sent off the field on the weekend as well for giving a few instructions behind the dead ball line. Well,
he's the biggest water boy in the Queensland Cup, big Starry, and you can't miss him out there. So I think if he was doing the wrong thing, it'd be pretty easy to spot.
A brave referee sending Big Starry off, I reckon. But now Sunday, like we said, it's a big weekend planned for the Dolphins. Easter eggs on arrival for all the kids until they run out, so that's going to be a great weekend. I don't believe you can get there though on the weekend route.
Yeah, I'm committed elsewhere, boys, unfortunately. Otherwise I would be there with my red and white bells on. I've got a ticket to the Byron Bay Blues Fest. I've been there the last couple of years, and this year I'm taking my beautiful wife. It was our 13th wedding anniversary yesterday. We got married on Easter Sunday back in '99, so we're doing a little romantic mosh pit thing with the weddings, parties, anything, and the Pogues at Byron Bay. But I'll tell you what, whilst I'm in that mosh pit, absolutely going ballistic to the weddings and parties, anything, and speaking of weddings and the Pogues, I'll be on the mobile phone getting the text messages from the Solon assassin John Sloan, keeping track of the Redcliffe Dolphins and the South Logan Magpie.
Yeah, absolutely. Last of the romantics, you are, Rupert, getting down to that one. But before we go, we spoke about the tremendous courage the Dolphins team have shown, and courage of a unprecedented level that you wrote about a young lady in your column on New on Sunday in the Sunday Mail just gone. Christy Banks, a courageous jockey who unfortunately had a terrible race accident on New Year's Eve at Toowoomba, Rupert.
Yeah, Christy walked in at Clifford Park, that afternoon, the last day of last year, and she didn't walk out. She had a fall in the first race, and she woke up with a wheelchair beside her bed. So, she's a fighter. Don't worry about that. She'll make sure that she gives 100% into. Hopefully one day, taking another step. But this is the danger of that game when you're a jockey. And Christy's having a fundraiser on May the 20th at Clifford Park, and I'll be supporting it. And I've been talking with the family. She's a great girl, a great fighter. And we're going to see plenty of that. That will be on display on that day, May the 20th. I'm very honoured to be involved.
Yeah, great racing family from the Darling Downs region is the Banks family. Been involved with racing all their life, and Christy, very popular character, and many people told me before, even before the form, one of the toughest characters they know and one of the most likeable. So that will be a great event.
It will be, and listen, I don't have a phone number, but if you want to be involved or if you want to come along to that event, it's in Toowoomba on May the 20th, which is a Sunday, at Clifford Park. Aaron Clancy is the man to contact at the Toowoomba Turf Club. I'm not sure the number, boys, but if anyone's keen enough, they'll be able to find out.
Yeah, if you just Google Toowoomba Turf Club, it is the first entry that comes up with the phone number there, and just ask for Aaron. No worries. So, well, Rupert, we better let you go. Get ready to pack for your big romantic weekend away, and we'll get ready to cheer on the mighty Finns on Sunday.
Absolutely, and if the boys win, I know it'll be blaring out through Dolphin Oval. I might even request, in that mosh pit at Byron, from weddings, parties, anything, a version of "Pass the ball around, boys, pass, pass, pass." Let's hope anyway. We need to get back on track, and it'll be a great weekend of rugby league.
We'd love to hear it, Rupert. Good on you, mate. Love to talk to you every week.
See you later, boys.
See you, Rupert. He follows us up every week, Swamp.
I'd love to hear a blues version of Pass the Ball Around. That'd be very interesting.
We'll have to get that going.
Have some jazz flute over the top of it. Be interesting. I don't think it'd rouse too many people up, but at a blues festival after the Dolphins win, I suppose that's all you can do.
There's a challenge to any local artist out there. Any version. I don't care what genre you want to do it in. We'll get a collection of them. Yep.
That'd fire the boys up before the game, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Very interesting selection I saw just very quickly, Matty, in the A-grade side. Mark Shipway's mixed up the halves combination this week with Wes Middleton heading to the centres and Chris Fox coming into 5/8. What do you think of the move there?
Yeah, they experimented with that move in the second half last week where Foxy come off the bench and slotted into that 5/8 and Wes pushed out wide. So Wes got a speedy character, so well suited to the centres. Probably takes a little bit of adapt, pushing out a little bit wider. But when you've got so many good playmakers in that side, you've got to, just try and make room from wherever you can, because off the bench as well, they've got three hookers in that side. They've got to try and make room for three real quality dummy halves in. Alan Helsinger starts the game, and coming off the bench is Mick Roberts, of course, a Dolphins legend, and Tui Samoa, who I rate as one of the strongest, most determined players at the club. So it's a real juggling act for Mark Shipway when you've got so many quality players, not always in the traditional positions. Like we said, there's plenty of dummy halves there, and they've probably got to kind of move out and make room in the halves around. And hopefully Wes can make a name for himself in the centres there. A few experimental in the Queensland Cup as well. A few changes. We've seen actually Paul Ivan, who has moved to the second row this year. For a fair bit of the game, he actually spent it on the wing. I don't know if he was injured or Johnny Dixon was trying something a little bit different, but he pushed Delroy Berryman back to fullback, Gagai to the centres, and Paul Ivan out to the wing.
That was a really interesting move. I've heard some sort of reports from people that went there that Gagai had nowhere near the impact that he did last week on the wing, where all previously Dolphin Oval was playing at fullback. Do you think that'll be something we'll see again this week, or do you think we'll see Gagai back?
I got to take my hat off to the Sunshine Coast defence there. They come with a game plan, I've got no doubt. If they could shut down Dane Gagai, they'd go a long way to winning the game, and they executed that game plan to perfection. He just had no room to move. They moved up on him all day, and hats off to the Sunshine Coast. The Klein brothers and our guest last week, Mitchell Bucket, were enormous. They did talk it up a bit on the show and through social media, but they talked the talk and then walked the walk, so well done to the Sunshine Coast. And there's that real rivalry continues to grow between these two clubs, Sunshine Coast and Dolphins. The announcer there was calling it the Battle of the Northern Beaches. I think that might be a little bit of a stretch, but we're happy enough to run with it. But again, that Sunshine Coast Stadium, an amazing setup, a brilliant grandstand, and a lot of Dolphins fans there, but it made for an amazing atmosphere to have that grandstand packed with Sunshine Coast and Redcliffe supporters.
Yeah, there's not too many better other than Dolphin Oval, I think, around the traps. It's absolutely something special. We need to remind people, of course, to get phoning in very soon. We're about to have Shane Moon on to get through Over the Moon. You can phone in with your NRL tips on 5495 1015. All you have to do is pick the 8 NRL games this weekend and just tip more than or as equal to Big Mooney, who is not been in good form, it has to be said. So I tell you what, there's just about a $50 Sports Club voucher up for grabs each week. So call in now and see if you can win a prize.
Yep, call in now, register your tips, and we'll draw them out of the hat. So 5495 1015. Now, we did salvage a draw last week, Mooney, but a draw's not good enough.
Not good enough at all. So, and he only did it with 4. He promised a 200% increase or something the week before, and only came back with 2. And he's yet to tip more than 50% this year. That's 4s is all he's got. So all you got to do is beat halfway there, and you'll be having a nice, lovely meal at the Sports Club, no doubt.
You know, he has a dead set go too, Swan. He's not throwing this. He is having a dead set go.
I've seen the books.
Yep.
They're stacked high every week.
He's got the rugby league, the league week, the big league all out, doing the form. Can't get more than 4. Unbelievable. It's 18 minutes to 9 here on Sports Fever. You're listening to Matthew and Swampy. Time now to talk some boxing, and joining us on the line is a young Bribie Island boxer, Ty, the Guillotine Gilchrist. Good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. How you going?
Yeah, we're pretty good in here, Ty, and I tell you what, a few scouts around the island that have been watching you in the train watching you train, have said a few things along the lines of pretty good about yourself as well. Now, of course, you're coming up fighting at the Rising Stars at the North Leagues Club on April 14. It will be a Queensland light welterweight title against Kyle the Tank Tia. Mate, how are you feeling in the lead up to the fight?
Yeah, no, the preparation's been spot on. Couldn't ask for a better preparation for this fight, so... injury-free and just raring to go.
Mate, as far as your professional career goes, you're 5-0 at the moment, undefeated. Is that a pretty big motivation for you on the night to keep that nice 0 at the end of your record?
Yeah, that's right. It'd be nice to keep that intact and keep undefeated, and then it's only going to up my ratings and keep going on to bigger and better things. So, definitely want to keep that 0 at the end of the record.
Yeah, of course, it is your first chance at a professional title, the Queensland light welterweight. How are you feeling with that? A little bit extra pressure added on you for the fight?
The pressure's not too bad. I've had 5 professional fights now and almost 50 amateur fights. So, I just love the whole sort of experience of it all. I thrive on all the sort of build-up pressure and that, and I use it to my advantage, and I put in the hard work and just want to get out there and put on a show for everyone.
And what can you tell us about your opponent, Ty? Kyle the Tank Tia, I believe he's one of Foxtel's Fight of the Year candidates. What can you tell us about the Tank?
Yeah, no, he's a real tough country boy. He loves to come forward. Every time you hit him, he loves it and he waves you in, and he's pretty hard. I don't think he's ever been stopped. And he's got really good stamina, so it's going to be a long fight, 8-rounder. He's just real tough, but we hope to outsmart him, outbox him, and then look for the knockout. So it should be a good, entertaining fight.
Now, it's not the first time that you've met Kyle. You've met him a couple of times in your amateur career and once in your professional career. You guys pretty familiar with each other in the ring now?
Yeah, we are getting. I've got to know him over the few fights, but it's an 8-round fight, so there'll be tactics involved, and we've got a bit of a strategy. So, still confident. I feel that I've got more power than him. I should be a better boxer on the night, and my prep, like I said, has been spot on. So. It should be good.
Now, of course, it is almost as local as a fight night gets for you. It is the North League Services Club there at Kalanga, only just down the road for all the people in the Moreton Bay region here. Now, I understand that you passed up the opportunity to have one of Foxtel's fight nights to take on here for a chance at the title, and B to fight in front of a local home crowd. What's it going to mean for you to hopefully claim a title, mate, in front of a home crowd and your friends and family?
Yeah, that's right. It means a lot. I knocked back to, like you said, to fight down in Melbourne on Fox Sports. It was a great opportunity, but it means a lot more to me to fight in front of all my family and friends. And then for the title, it's just a bonus. So, I hope everyone can get out to support me for this one. I've made a lot of sacrifices along the way to get here, and I don't often get to see all my sort of family and get to hang out with my mates, but... so I hope they can all get out and support us, because there's nothing better than fighting in front of all your family and friends.
Now, heading down there to see Ty fight is plenty of motivation for any locals, but as if you needed a little bit more, we have Deception-based Jason Nugget Cooper also fighting on the night. He'll be going for the Australian Bantamweight title, and 2 Caboolture boys in Waylon the Sheriff Law and Luke All Night Howlett are both fighting. Understand you've been sparring a little bit with those boys, Ty. How are they looking in the shape-up? Are we in line for a local clean sweep on the night?
I think we are, mate, to be honest. If I was a betting man, I'd be putting money on all the local boys. I've been sparring mainly with Jason Nugget Cooper. And for a bantamweight, he punches really hard. Waylon's really sharp. So, it should be a good night for the local boys.
Ty, it's been fantastic to have you on the show this morning, mate. Good luck on the night. It is, of course, Saturday, April 14 at the North Leagues and Services Club. Tickets are $50 for general and $80 ringside. And if you visit the D-Bay Boxing Club website, I believe there's plenty of contact information on there. Thanks for coming on this morning, Ty, and good luck.
Yep, no worries at all. Thanks very much.
Cheers, Ty.
Good night, bye.
Swampy, another good... Hasn't Bribey produced some sporting stars in the last couple of years?
Mate, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I got a chance to have a word in person to Ty earlier in the week, and he is cutting a very impressive physical figure at the moment. He just looks in absolute perfect shape, so he is really fired up, ready to go. This has been a dream of his for a long time to claim a Queensland title, and I'll tell you what though, big Kyle the Tank Tier, they don't call him the Tank for no reason. He takes some stopping, so I'll have an inkling that we'll be in for an absolute crack about. That'll go the distance for sure.
Yeah, it should be a cracker Jack night, that's for sure. April 14th. They're looking forward to that one. Now, what would be my boxing name, Swamp? You know, we just talked to the Guillotine, Ty, the Guillotine Gilchrist, and we got the Tank, Frank the Tank Tier, Luke All Night Howlett, Waylon the Sheriff. What would mine be? Yeah, Peter Swampy Marsh. That's not a real boxing name, though, is it?
Surely we got to go something with like Matthew Dulcet Tones Duncan. No,
not real.
No,
what about Matthew Slam Duncan?
Oh,
you like that one?
There we go.
That's the boxing name. We've got to come up with yours. What about one for Big Andre? Golden Gloves. Grimo.
There you go.
There you go. One?
Yeah, I feel left out now, so
we'll come up with. Well, that may be a project for the listeners out there.
There we go.
Come up with Swampy's boxing name. Now, what about this Robert Clark that is fighting Waylon the Sheriff Law? I reckon he might sing this one on the night. 9 to 9 here on SportsFeva. Now, the Big D, the voice of Moreton Bay Rugby League, has just texted through the boxing name for you, Peter the Monster Marsh.
Yeah, I like it.
You like that one?
It. Yeah. Yep. Thanks, Big D.
The Monster Marsh. There you go. I like it.
And tell you what, speaking of monsters, we've got a horror show of tipping on the phone. Shane Moon, good morning to you, Mooney. We put you on silent, Mooney, because it makes about as much sense, your tips, as does Dead Air.
Absolutely, mate. Listen, I'm just a good player out of form at the moment, mate. I'm just like the Titans.
Yeah, Titans what, broke?
Yeah, Parramatta, they're a good team out of form. I'm not going to tip Parramatta anymore because they win.
Yeah, that's it. Unbelievable. You're in great form now. Ethan Parker, you produced a dead heat, but a dead heat's not good enough. So congratulations to Ethan Parker. If you'd like to contact the studio in regards to, or just come into the studio and pick up his $50 Sports Club voucher. Thanks very much to our sponsors there, the Caboolture Sports Club. So you haven't protected the Sports Club yet. Every week there's been a winner. Mooney, what's going on?
Absolutely, it's got to be my leadership that helped them win their third trophy in a row for the best club on the north side of Brisbane.
You're bringing all these new people into the club, you reckon? That's
Yeah, it is. They're going in just because they want to have a laugh at me when they see me at the bar, I'm sure.
Oh, dear, drowning your sorrows. We better get into this week's tips. It's not an easy week, Mooney. I've had a look. I'm not feeling confident for it.
Mate, every week's a hard week at the moment. It's a 50-50 flip of the coin. It really is.
Well, you take 50-50, Mooney. Honestly, you're batting it about, I don't know. It's one of the worst tipping performances I've ever seen.
Mate, because I'm using the strategy of knowledge. These other people just throw darts at a dartboard. It's easy to pick that way.
Fair enough. Well, maybe you may need to change that strategy. Who do you like, Rabbitohs or the Bulldogs on tomorrow afternoon?
Mate, I like the Rabbitohs, but I think the Bulldogs will be too strong. I think I've got to stick with the Bulldogs. I think they're playing pretty good at the moment, mate. Good team out of luck the other day, a couple of weeks ago, but I think they're back and forth.
Yeah, Desi's got them firing pretty well. Now, Friday night clash, the West Tigers, who are in pretty ordinary form and got beat on the buzzer last week, take on the mighty Brisbane Broncos.
Mate, it's a Broncos home big. I think that's the only thing that's swaying me, because with Robbie Farah back, I think the Tigers are going to be a much better side. And Benji was on fire last week, but mate, I'm going to stick with the Broncos. Hopefully, I'll be the death knell of the Broncos with me on their back this week.
You're a mean man, Shane Moon. Now the Titans, the team you're compared to, taking on the Roosters.
Mate, I think it's just a bad year for the Titans. I think it's going to be out of Parramatta and Titans again for the wooden spoon, and I'm going to stick with Roosters, mate. I think they're up and down, but I think they'll be too strong for Titans.
The Chooks coming off a good win. Now the Sharks, the Big D, a proud Sharks supporter, taking on the St George Dragons in a local derby.
Mate, old Darren there at Robinson at the radio, mate, he's going to cut my heart out, I'm sure, because I can't see the Sharks getting out of trouble in this one. I think Dragons all the way.
You'd need a heart to cut out first, Mooney. The Raiders take on the Warriors.
Oh, mate, that was callous. That was that. Well, mate, I backed the Raiders last week at home, and they were dismal. But I also know the Warriors don't like to travel across the ditch, mate. I'm going to stick with Raiders at home, mate.
The Green Machine. Now, the Newcastle Knights take on the Parramatta Eels.
Mate, home game for the Knights. Parramatta never travels well to Newcastle. I've been to a couple of games down there, and Parramatta got flopped every one, so I'm going to back against my boys, and I'm going to go to the Knights at home.
Wayne Bennett's boys there. Now the Cowboys in Townsville take on the undefeated Melbourne Storm.
Mate, I can't see Melbourne Storm getting beat. I don't think Cowboys are going to have it to match them. I think Billy Slater and the boys are just too strong at the moment. They're flying.
They are going very well, playing an exciting brand of football. And the Monday night game, the Manly Seagulls take on the Penny Panthers.
Mate, I can't see the Penrith Panthers getting up against Manly. I think Manly are a good side. I think they're playing well, and the coin and old phrase, I think the chocolate soldiers from the hills are going to suffer a defeat to Manly. Play Manly back into a bit of form. So there we go. Now, Swamp, now you're taking on another lady, another female again. Mooney, you've got a terrible record against them. You've got a terrible record against everyone for that matter. But gee, that's callous. That's really callous.
I just call it how I see it, Mooney. The facts here in front of me. Now, Sally. Now, where was Sally from, Swamp?
Sally's from Morayfield, and look, I tell you what, she's not stuck with the Broncos. The only two difference, she's gone for the Tigers over the Broncos, and she has tipped the Sharkies to continue their recent patch of good form and get one over the Dragons. So
two different,
but that was enough to win Big Ethan a Sports Club voucher last week.
Only got to draw it to win. So
I feel safe with those bets. I think I'm all over. I don't think I'll give ladies the preference this week. I think I'm a certainty to win this week.
You got to get off the mark. Now, any Sunshine Coast Gympie Rugby League news for us before we let you go, Mooney?
Mate, we're having a weekend off this weekend. The Sunshine Coast side's Easter break, so it gives all those injured players an extra week to refresh and get over their little niggling injuries. Hopefully the Warriors will get a few people back, and this week a couple of players have been out down there and they'll be performing a bit better.
Mooney, we talk about the A-grade size quite a bit, but I understand the under-18s at the Warriors, there's been a couple of spectators that have watched roll through there and they've given me the tip that they are a pretty exciting side. Is that what you're seeing from the young boys there?
Mate, it is. One of the 18s are actually in the Sunshine Coast Malmeninga Cup side. He performs really well. They've got a really nippy halfback, a couple of good setters, and a redhead front rower, mate, who's got all the anger in the world. Big Red, he's performing well. They're a good side. They've been a little bit unlucky in a couple of games, and I mean, he led all the way to the bell just about. Got rolled at the last minute, but there's a lot of great prospect coming through, not only the 18s, the juniors in general. The 16s down there are a really good side too in the junior league. So, mate, a lot of good hope for Ivy.
Yes, good signs there for the future for sure. We better let you go, Mooney. We've put you on a bit later in the show this time, trying to change up your luck a little bit. We'll see how it goes for you.
Mate, I'm feeling confident this week, 8 out of 8 all the way.
Well, there you go. He's declared it, 8 out of 8. We'll see how we go. We'll talk to you next Thursday. Have a good Easter.
Thanks, boys. Thanks, listeners. All the best.
Cheers, Mooney.
Great Easter, everybody.
Shane Moon, a lovely bloke, terrible tipster.
I was going to say, hoping for an Easter miracle there, I think.
Easter miracle. Might come back from the dead, maybe, old Mooney. Let's see how he goes.
Yeah, mate, just before the full-time siren does sound, we must send a massive good luck to all of our junior swimmers from the Moreton Bay region. The Australian Age Nationals kick-off at Chandler next Monday. Now, this is, of course, the massive competition for all of our underage swimmers. They compete in their age groups, but there are plenty of swimmers who have made the trip over to South Australia for the Australian National Championships who are backing it up only a couple of weeks later at the Age Nationals. So, good luck to all of them. I think we've got 9 swimmers welcome is from Australian Crawl at Burpengary here. Mooney has got, will no doubt have them going in top form, and good luck to all those young talents out there.
Yes, absolutely. Good luck to them all, and let's hope our SportsFeva bump finds a bit of form. We hit a snag last week. We had the Firebirds and the Dolphins. We gave them a big shout out, and April Fool's brought us under. And maybe it was just April Fool's was kind of threw the universe out a bit.
That's the little asterisk that we put on the end of the bump, isn't it?
Yep.
Not valid on April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day, or maybe over Easter. We don't know. We'll see how we go. Thanks to all our guests this morning. We've had plenty of them, Swamp.
Rupert McCall, of course, the Dolphins' #1 ticket holder. Big Steve Moore, the GWE superstar, coming in to talk up his bout. Ty Gilchrist, the Bribie Island boxer, to come in or phone in as well. And, of course, as always, every week, Big Shane Moon to give us his tips and to give a Sports Club voucher away, as he does.
Thanks to everyone, and thanks to you, Peter the Monster Marsh.
Always a pleasure, Matty.